Plymouth looked strong, Mark, didn't they? And
Yeah.
they looked a decent informed side today. Was that the result of a long week for you on the road, do you think, today?
It was a frustrating day, Ian, to be honest. Yeah, I agree. They looked a good side, capable of heading it and kicking it as League Two requires, but also capable of playing. And I just felt we weren't quite at it in department. We didn't win any department today. Ruben Reid caused us a few problems with the long ball and pulling on people's shoulders first half. Bobby Reid in the middle of the park got around us, picked up pieces and from the mess that Ruben had caused, and the back three, we didn't work hard enough. And that said, there were moments in the game where I felt we could still get back in it. You know, a lot of things were wrong today. We weren't as good as them on the day, of course, but our game management, you know, 1-0 down, and the first goal we had a chance to clear it 3-4 times, didn't, then get punished. Then we come back into the game and we got a couple of good opportunities, a couple of great balls in, one from Amari, one from Varney. We had a chance from a corner we felt we should have got more from, and then with 3 minutes before half time we have a short goal kick and decide to put ourselves in a bit of trouble, give a free kick away when they closed us down, and concede, and then we're on the back foot and we shot ourselves in the foot, if you like. But that showed a bit of spirit second half. We had a few chances. I thought we should have done better when we, you know, in all departments. And then when we get chances up top, second half, I think Byron had one, Varney had one, and there was maybe another one as well where we've got to be hitting the target, and they're crucial moments in games like that where we haven't been at our best. But if you get one and make it 2-1, you can make a game of it, and we didn't quite do that.
I mean, Trevor wasn't leaping around the goal all afternoon. I didn't make a lot of chances, but equally McCormick was fairly underemployed as well.
Yeah, we didn't work him anywhere near enough. Like I said before, and you alluded to it, I think they're a good side, and I like John. He's a good manager.
Are they the best side you've played?
Yeah, probably. You know, listen, it's every game's tight, every game's tough, and there's not a great deal of difference between too many teams, but they were better than us in every department on the day today. We've got to hold our hands up to that, and it's always been a work in progress that we're at. Today's just a little setback, and it's just a reminder that there's still plenty to do, and make sure that not that we didn't turn up, but we've got to, every minute of every game is vital, and it happened for them today rather than us.
Do you see a pattern that there is a lot of attritional football in League Two this season?
Yeah, there is, but I think that's League Two as long as it's been about. Yeah. But a lot of signs are very similar, and you can go on a run like Plymouth Argyle. You know, we'd had 2 good wins this week. We were looking for a third. That's what we came for. That's why we played Amari. Joe had I was slightly worried about Joe, so I went with Amari, thinking that he might be a little bit more proactive for us. We didn't come and, you know, we don't come and go for 0-0s and stuff. It didn't backfire because Amari wasn't at fault for us getting beaten today. But as a team, we weren't as good as we wanted to be, and we have to be in every game.
You must have looked at their back three and thought, okay, they're very solid, but mobility might be an issue for them. But you couldn't get them turned, or you couldn't move them about.
No, that's credit to them. But I felt we did a couple of times. I felt our decision making with the ball at times was poor as well, and we pretty much played into their hands. We changed it second half around a little bit, played the 3 up, and went to a back 4, and it worked for us. But we created a couple of good chances, didn't take them, and then it just sort of petered out really. They got that third, and it was game over.
Are you relieved in the sense that between, I think, now and Christmas, cup replays permitting, it is only Saturday to Saturday, you've got a bit more chance to either rest people or to actually,
work on the training? Yeah, of course, yeah. But that's not an excuse. I'm not using it as an excuse as us being tired. You know, they played midweek as well. We plan and prepare and try and give ourselves every chance of performing to the best of our ability. But when we make decisions like we did today, the goals, we look back at the goals, and I hate when people say individual errors, but we had chances to deal with all 3 goals today, and that's the bit that I don't like, the bit that I think, that's the frustrating bit that makes me go grey and start losing my hair. But that's football. That's what it's about, and it's about trying to get the players to make as few mistakes as possible sometimes. And today was a day where we probably just made one or two too many.
You're still in the top half, obviously. Argyle are pushing on there in the top 7. Does it show that's the level you've got to perform at to get there and stay there potentially? Obviously, every team does it in their own style.
Yeah. It's just about picking up points. I'm not worried about where we are in the table. Obviously, I would be if I was right down the bottom. But I think it's just important that we keep trying to pick up points. We try and set our teams up, try and get an understanding of what we want of the players. And like I said, 99% of the time this season, the lads their effort has been superb. The supporters at the end they could see that we put the effort in, but when you make the mistakes that we made at crucial times, 20 minutes, then just before half time, and then we're having a go and we concede with 15 minutes to go or whatever it was, it just knocks the stuffing out of you. And it didn't really matter what I tried to do on the sidelines or with substitutions. It was just one of those frustrating days. But we've got a good week now. We can get on the training ground. We can do everything we can now to make sure that we're as good, we're as fit, as strong, as mobile, as proactive as we can be next week at home in front of our own supporters, who've again been really good this season.
And just lastly, it is this time of the season when the cup starts coming into play. The cup draw is on Monday. If you get a couple of favourable rounds, you get some handy FA Cup prize money, and it all potentially helps your cause going forward, doesn't it?
Listen, of course, we want to win every game, and we set a little target before the start of the season, and a little cup run is obviously part of that. For the chairman and the board, and playing budget-wise, it's vital that you do. But who's to say we could get Bristol City away? So we have to be mindful of everything. We've been fortunate over the few years that I've been here that we've had some good cup runs that have generated some decent revenue, and then we get what we had last year when we get beat away at Tamworth. So we have to deal with whatever happens, which is just the way it is. And what's a favourable draw in the FA Cup when everyone wants the underdog to win? So we just take what we get, which is how we work at the football club, and then we do our best to overcome the hurdle that's in our way.
Thanks for your time, Mark.
Cheers, Ian.